This is a swarm of honeybees. Thousands of them hanging off of a trap that I set weeks ago, and building comb on the outside because they ran out of room on the inside. This is what a good problem looks like. Spring in Texas comes fast, and the bees don't wait for you to be ready. Coming into the season, I had established hives, swarm traps set at a few locations around the area, and a plan. What I didn't plan for was how well it was going to work. I've told people before that checking a swarm trap is like fishing. Most of the time you come up empty, but every once in a while you get a hit. And when that happens, there's nothing like it. That's what April 2nd felt like. I brought them home, transferred them to a wooden box the next day, and let them settle in the backyard before moving them out to the apiary. That colony is in the apiary now. They were perfectly calm for the first few weeks, with no issues at all. But somewhere along the way, they decided that they didn't like visitors. More on that in a minute. It's new hive days for the backyard bees. We're going to take the bees we caught in this swarm box, and we're going to move them into a regular, proper hive. Come along, we're just getting started. On May 8th, I had a cardboard box on the back fence, about 60 feet away from where I caught the swarm last year. A small cluster, covering 2 or 3 frames inside. And in the background of this photo, that's Bella. Bella joined the operation back in October. She's 70 pounds of German Shepherd with a very specific hobby. She doesn't bother the hives. She doesn't pay any attention to the thousands of bees flying around the apiary. But a stray bee in the garage or one crawling through the grass, that's a completely different situation. I've seen her eat as many as 10 in a single day. Our dog trainer has a name for it. She calls them sky raisins. She's never been stung. I have no explanation for that. Sometimes I point one out to her just to watch what happens. Oh, look. The cardboard box swarm was small, probably a cast swarm. Not a lot of numbers, but they were organized and they were working. I transferred them right there in the backyard and then moved them out to the apiary. I haven't opened that hive since, but every time I walk past, there are bees coming and going. Sometimes the best thing you can do is leave them alone and let them work. On May 19th, I was out walking Bella when I swung by the trap near the water treatment plant. Bees packed inside the box, a basketball-sized cluster hanging on the outside, and comb already built on the exterior. These bees had been there long enough that the inside wasn't sufficient, and they started expanding outward. Then it started raining. A wet bee is a cold bee, and a cold bee becomes a dead bee. I wasn't going to leave without them. Because of the comb on the outside, I couldn't just shake them and go. I knocked the exterior cluster and comb into a hive box. And I put a net bag around both the trap and the box. I took everything directly to the apiary. When I opened the box at the apiary, they were covering the interior wall to wall. They went into a double deep box. They earned it. I checked on them recently. The queen is laying. That colony is going to be something. Remember that first swarm? The calm ones that settled in so nicely? Somewhere in between the backyard and the apiary, they changed their minds about being friendly. That colony is the red hive now, and they've gotten progressively less agreeable as the season has gone on. We'll be requeening them this week. I'll cover that separately. If you've ever suited up for a hive that's decided it doesn't like you, you know what I'm walking into. Between the swarms, the splits I've made this season, and the 2 nukes that I brought in, I'm at 14 hives in the apiary and 1 at the house. That's 15 colonies. And the hives that were here before it all started, they've been busy too. I've already pulled the honey frames and have them in storage while I'm extracting them. I'm working through the rest of the hives now, pulling frames, putting blanks in their place, and creating some room. The harvest season is here, whether I'm ready or not. Which brings me to swarm number 4. After pulling that first swarm trap near the Kingwood Garden Center back in April, I reset it and put it back. A few days ago, I went to check on it. There are bees hanging out at the entrance hole. If more swarms show up, and based on this season, that's not a small if, I'm going to have to get creative. I'm about to pull my traps in. Managing what I have is now the priority. The bees don't always cooperate with that plan, but that's the plan. If you've been watching since the beginning, you know this started with a surprise swarm in a cardboard box. We're a long way from that box. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see what's in that trap. Leave a comment below. I want to hear how your spring is going. And if your dog has developed a taste for sky raisins, I want to hear about that too.